going back to the metal world of sort of rock ascendancy that we're seeing at the moment, do you think that you need to be really talented to be a sort of world touring alternative artist now? How much of it is talent and how much can you ride off the back of social media hype and good marketing?
I had no talent when I was starting this thing. I didn't belong out here, man. I just took, like, I feel like every room I was in, I had this mentality to just be a sponge, just soak up as much as you can. And I think that got me through the first, years of touring and all that. But I do think it takes, you can go in off the hype and off the TikToks and off all that, but you have to quickly figure your shit out real fast. If you're up on stage and there's so many variables, you're not just posting a video you playing. There's so many variables of a live set. And I mean, even like the thing where I'm looking out in a crowd and I see up in the front row and someone doesn't know the words to the song and they're just, fish mouth and like just random lyrics. I fucked up lyrics because I was looking at that guy. I was like, what is he saying? Oh shit, what am I saying? Oh, what verse am I in? Where am I? But yeah, I think there's a good mix.
It's unforgiving then in that regard. Like the hype can kind of only carry you so far.
Yeah, I'd argue that you need a good product, right?
Yeah.
So like first of all, I'd argue that you need a lot of talent to be good at marketing because you're not the labels and all that, like they will provide that for you, but like I ultimately think the bands that are doing the best are the ones who understand how to market themselves. So one, I'd argue that's a skill. Two, if the product is shitty, right? Like Chris, if this podcast sucks, but you're really good at marketing, like sure, you're going to get it in front of a few more people, but at the end of the day, people aren't going to come back. And now you're working your ass off to just market a shitty product.
Right.
That's not really going to work. So like, I do think, especially in today's landscape, like how it used to be is bands would get discovered by a label, they explode. Like it was very gate kept, right? Mm-hmm. But if you were through, and all you had to do is like show up and play music. And now you could upload a song to Spotify right now while we're having this conversation, put in a prompt into AI and then upload it to Spotify, right? So like the landscape is more competitive than ever, which I think means that bands who are not always like, there's plenty of very talented bands who don't get traction, but it's very competitive. You need to have like very good songs, very good marketing. Like you have to be more well-rounded than ever, as opposed to, hey, I'm just like a good musician. That might not really get you noticed much.
What do you make of the advent of AI artists?
Oh man, don't get me started. It's a little frightening, man. Just came across a friend of mine, went on a rant and posted all these bands on Spotify that were, AI bands, and whether it's a band that's feeding prompts and getting it and playing it, or it's one guy that just used ChatGPT, Grok, whatever to create everything. And then you go look at the monthly listeners and there's 700,000 monthly listeners. And it's not the fear that someone's going to go, I'd rather listen to this AI band over, a real human band. It's the fact that it's just going to get slipped into playlisting and it's just going to be on your playlist and it's just going to just accumulate more and more of all these other fake bands. And by the time you go and look through your playlist, you're like, oh, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And there's no real musicians. But my ultimate worry is that, who's to say that someone who owns a streaming platform doesn't just start making music off AI himself or herself and feeding it into the playlisting. And now there's even less of the pie. Artists are getting, fractions of a penny on the dollar for streams. Well, now that those playlists that these bands are fighting hard for, who's to say the CEOs of, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever, aren't just making their own music, feed it into the algorithm, putting in the place, into the playlisting. And now how are we supposed to fight that?
It'd be like OnlyFans owning the AI girlfriend generator.
Yeah.
Like you've got the distribution and you've got the source material as well.
100%. Yeah. It's a tricky balance because in one way, I'm like, you can't. Very difficult to stop a train that's already moving, right? But then also, kind of like what I was talking about with concerts, I'm like, I think people are craving more physical experiences or people to connect with, right? Like, I think it'll be an interesting balance of like, yeah, an AI song could come on and you might not know it's AI and you might not really care that it's AI because it's like, well, the song's good. But I wonder, like, even if that has like a huge boom, that it wouldn't end up going to the other side of like, yeah, but I kind of miss connecting with an artist or with a band or like what they actually had to say, you know, or like if it's AI, there's nothing to really, not much to really connect with, you know. Um, all that said, yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
Well, look, I saw what about 2 months ago? There was a bunch of screenshots floating around. Maybe it was the new terms of service that Spotify had that sounded like an adjustment had been made to say that your music can be used in data training sets that can be reproduced in perpetuity with and without credit, etc. All of the legalese. And then I came across this. Spotify announced a collaboration with major labels, Universal Music Group, Sony Music, Warner Music Group, to build an AI-driven features while protecting artists' rights and ensuring fair compensation. Proactive move in the face of rising concerns about generative AI tools using artists' voices and sounds without proper licensing. Streaming giant Spotify states it will involve direct licensing and artist permission frameworks. The partnership signals industry acknowledgement of AI as both an opportunity and a threat. So I don't know where it goes. I certainly know that I'm getting delivered more AI bands in my radio. You press one single. I think I played, this is exactly what happened. I played the new Bad Omens song the day it came out. It was on the day we were filming with McConaughey. We'd finished up and I put it on through the system at Stray Vista where we film that shit. And it came on and then the next track came on. And I was like, this is a really interesting sound. This is a funny little track. Like I'll go over and have a little look. I was like, oh, it's what AI band. Like the first Omens, next track was them. That is fucking premiere position.
Yeah.
Algorithmically.
Yeah.
And it's picking up speed. I would say it's, but I mean, obviously the other, and you made a great point that if I use AI to enhance my songwriting and then cut the track myself with my bandmates, who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how does anybody know where the initial inspiration for this track came from?
Yeah.
Like, hey, write me 20 number one hits in the style of Sleep Token and Bad Omens and I Prevail.
Yep.
And then you go, oh, well, maybe there's our next album.
Yeah. 100%.